Good evening and welcome to the Monday, March 16, 2026 meeting of the City of Summit Zoning Board of Adjustment. My name is Scott Leggett. I'm the Zoning Board Chair. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. In accordance with New Jersey Statute 10:4-10, adequate notice of the special meeting has been provided to a newspaper record and has been posted here in City Hall. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to the issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider reaching a decision, and decorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. For the benefit of the interested public, this meeting is being live streamed on the city's YouTube page. It's also being broadcast on Summit's government channel, which is Comcast Channel 34, Verizon Channel 30. Transcript of this meeting is also being taken using video and audio, so we need all speakers to utilize one of the microphones in the room. Please note that the fire exits are to my right, your left, and at the back of the room where you entered. The city has a listening system to assist the hearing impaired. If anyone needs hearing assistance, please attain the system at the dais and then return it thereafter. Ms. Sands, can you please call the roll of members?
Vice Chair Zahn is excused. Mr. Yuko?
Here.
Mr. Millay is excused. Mr. Mullen?
Here.
Mr. Nelson?
Here.
Mr. Curran?
Here.
Ms. Chifo?
Here.
Mr. Feskins is excused. Mr. Chanchuli?
Here.
Mr. Bell is excused. Chairman Likitz.
Here.
You have a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you, Ms. Sands. Andy Ball is the zoning board's attorney. Mr. Ball advises the board members on matters of law and is the key interface with the applicant's attorney. Mr. Ball does not vote on these applications. Jessica Sands, who you just heard from, is a city employee and is the zoning board secretary. Board secretary works with applicants on preparing their applications, planning our agendas, and keeping our meeting minutes. The board secretary also does not vote on these applications. Also present tonight are experts who are hired annually by the board to provide input to us. Tonight we have Marie Raffe from Colliers Engineering. Also present is Ed Snikes from Burgess Associates, and he's our board planner. These experts are seated at the table to the right of the board, the public's left. They also do not vote. Our board consists of up to 7 regular members and 4 alternates. All members can participate in the hearings tonight, but a maximum of 7 can vote. Most applications require a simple majority to be approved. Before we enter into executive session to vote on the application, you'll be advised of how many votes are required for approval. Each case will begin with their applicants or their attorney giving an overview of the application process to date and what variances are required. We then hear from any additional expert witnesses the applicant may have to help explain the application and why those variances are needed. Board experts, followed then by the board members, may ask questions of the applicant, their attorney, and their expert witnesses. Due to recent cases running excessively long, we strongly encourage applicants and their experts to give brief and concise testimony so we may get to as many cases as possible in one given evening. Once the board members and the board professionals have completed their questioning, the public will have an opportunity to ask questions. It's not the time to tell us what you think about the case. That opportunity comes at the end of the hearing. Please be careful as how you phrase your questions. They should not be preceded with a statement about the case, but should be a direct question to the witness. Also, before you ask your questions, please clearly state your name, spell your last name, and provide your address. It's important that our court reporter be able to keep a clear and accurate public record. After all the witnesses have been heard, members of the audience then have a second opportunity to speak. This is the time where you can express your opinion, positive or negative, about the application. Then the public hearing is closed and we enter into executive session. This is where the board members discuss the case and then we vote. You'll be able to listen to our executive session, but you will not be able to participate in our discussion. I ask that each applicant and their attorney, if present, come up and give a brief synopsis of their anticipated testimony tonight, including how many witnesses you have, and whether or not you can finish your entire presentation within 30 minutes. So tonight we had 4 cases on the docket, but 2 of them, I believe, are going to be carried. So do we have a representative from 19 Ridge Road?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Good
James
evening, Mr.
Weber of
Weber.
Alfonso and Weber on behalf of the applicants. We're requesting that this be carried. There has been the opportunity in the review of the plans to reduce the lot coverage, almost to eliminating it, as well as to eliminate several other variances. so that we're not going to be presenting to the board an application that had 9 or so variances, but trying to get that down to a more reasonable number. The plans were finalized this weekend, and as a result, they have not been incorporated into the civil engineering, nor have your experts had an opportunity to review them, nor have the board members themselves received those revised plans. So we're asking that this be carried without the need for further notice to May 4th, 2026.
And waiving the time frame to act?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to carry this application?
Motion to carry.
Can I get a second? Second. Ms. Sands, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Yuko?
Yes.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Curran?
Yes.
Ms. Chifo?
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli?
Yes.
Chairman Lakewitz?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Weber. We'll see you on the 4th. Well, we'll see you later tonight, too. All right. Do we have representatives from 55 Tulip? Yeah, just a quick synopsis is all we need.
Hi, my name is Eric Stabler, resident at 55 Tulip Street, Summit, New Jersey. Been a resident since 1996. We're presenting before you a need for a variance to put a very small bathroom up in our 3rd floor attic. We've lived in that house for... Okay.
So how many witnesses will you have tonight?
Just the two of us.
All right, perfect.
Probably be 15, 20 minutes max.
Okay.
Representation.
I'll have my timer going.
Okay.
All right, great. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you so much. All right, next, do we have representatives from 35 Badeau? I believe not. Is that right?
Right, and we did receive an email request from council asking to carry this also to May 4th without further notice. They're similarly revising their plans in response to staff comments.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Can I get a motion to carry that application as well?
So moved.
Ooh, tie goes the tongue. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Yuko?
Yes.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Curran?
Yes.
Ms. Chifo?
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli?
Yes.
Chairman Lakewitz?
Yes, all right, so we'll hear 35 Badeau on the 4th of May as well. And finally, do we have someone from 46 Colt who can just give us a summary? Mr. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. James Weber on behalf of the applicants, Bobby and Emily Kennedy. 2 witnesses. We should be able to be done in 30 minutes.
Excellent, great. All right, so, Mr. Stabler, you're back up. All right, Mr. Ball is going to swear you both in.
All right. So we'll start, I guess we'll go with Mr. Stabler first. If you could raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And please state your name, spell your last name.
Eric Stabler, Stabler, 55 Tulip Street.
Thank you. And I assume if you could just tell us briefly about the application, then we'll swear your architect in after.
Yes, no problem. So, as I was said earlier, I'm a resident at 55 Tulip Street, and the application is to put a small bathroom up in the 3rd floor attic space. We have a bedroom up there, and that would make, currently we have 2 bathrooms on the 2nd floor and a half bathroom on the 1st floor. We're going to be experiencing quite a bit of traffic through our house over the next few years, given that I'm a recent grandfather as of yesterday, and we're going to have
Congratulations.
thank you, family, friends, and family coming and visiting, and have another grandchild coming in August. So I expect a lot of traffic. We just felt that getting a bathroom up there will help service, and the people come and visit. It's not a big ask. It's just, there's a nice space up there for it. Something that we probably should have done a long time ago with our 4 kids, but we survived without it. But I think now it's time to do it. So
Great,
So
thank you. Board experts, do you have any questions for this witness? Or do you want to wait for his architect?
I have no questions
Okay.
for this witness.
I was going to wait.
Perfect. Board members, do you have any questions for this witness? Seeing none. Public, any questions? No? Seeing none? Please, sir.
All
Welcome.
right. If you could raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And please state your name, spell your last name.
Yeah, Nick Bensley. I'm principal of East West Architecture based in Marstown. And the last spelling is Bensley, B as in boy, E-N-S-L-E-Y.
Thank you. And can you briefly describe your background and experience for the board?
Yeah, I've been licensed in New Jersey. I have my own practice since, well, licensed in 91, practiced since 93. I've been in front of this board in the same area that we're doing the Stablers project on Oakland, Ashland, as well as on Tulip Street the last 7-8 years.
Any questions from the board, or would you like to accept his credentials?
We would. Welcome. Please proceed.
I apologize if I need to follow a little bit of the script here. It's going to keep me simpler. I'm a little under the weather, and I just got back from a wonderful trip to Patagonia, so my memory is not serving me quite as well. I'm thinking more about Patagonia, but bear with me here. We'll keep this short and hopefully to the point. Stabler's house is a 1930s Dutch colonial. It's on a corner lot, and we're proposing as Eric stated, a modest attic level dormer addition to provide them with a small bathroom to service a bedroom that's existing up on the attic level. We are here only for relief to the floor area, and also part of the proposed design is to try to increase storage space in the existing attic for the Stablers, as everyone needs more storage these days. Property is a corner lot currently non-conforming with respect to lot size, 7,500 square feet, where the R10 zone requires 10,000 square feet. Floor area ratio is currently 32.67, where 25% is permitted. Impervious coverage, 35.3%, where 35% is permitted. Building coverage, 22.64%, where 18% is permitted. Both front and side yard setbacks, 28.6 feet, where 30 feet is required on one side, 11.9 feet, where 12 feet is required. Fortunately, we're only here asking for relief for floor area coverage. There was a previous variance that Stablers got to expand their kitchen and their master bedroom suite along Oakland Place and a little bigger terrace off the kitchen. That was 1999, I think, yeah, and was built in 2000, obviously approved. So that's where a lot of these numbers that are in excess are being driven by. The neighborhood, just to put a little context on it, I'm sure you're familiar, is mostly traditional colonial style architecture. In your packets, there's a zoning map, I just want to indicate Stabler's house is right here in the corner of Oakland.
Sir, make sure you're talking to the microphone, that's all.
Okay.
Yep. Otherwise, you're good.
Yeah. Most of the properties right along the side where the Stablers are undersized lots. Most of the properties coming along Oakland Street are conforming lots or larger lots than what's required. If you want to just look briefly at the plans, I'll walk you through what our proposed design is. The drawings are organized so that you have an existing and a proposed. You have existing elevations, proposed modifications that are the rendered ones. Basically, what we're doing is you see in the existing drawing, this is the existing bedroom as it is now, sloped ceilings, 7'4" ceiling height at the flat portion of basically a tray ceiling. We're proposing to add on a bath off the back here and also a small dormer to provide better storage. The height in that storage area at the ridge is 7 feet. The low point is 4 feet, 4.5 feet, to give them a little better storage, so none of that applies to floor area ratio, which is 7 feet or greater. Only the bathroom, where we're looking to maintain the 7'4" ceiling height that's in the existing bedroom. Elevations, this is really a very minimal impact visually from both Tulip and Oakland. As you can see, let me just get my bearings here for 1 second. You've got the existing front elevation, which really has no change for this dormer. The existing side elevation, all you're going to see is just a little shed dormer off the back that rises up off that existing attic. The side elevation, which is basically, I call it the backyard, or the side elevation, the right elevation, has the bathroom addition with a small window here. That little shed dormer right there is for the storage area. And from the back, again, you only see the proposed addition for the bathroom and the shed off the back. Materials are all going to be consistent with the existing house, just shingle style. Really pretty minimal impact visually on anything in the neighborhood. So our proposed attic dormer addition, which only increases the floor area ratio from 32.67 to 34%, where 25% is required. We're basically adding 100 square feet for this bathroom to add that onto the floor area ratio. The hardship, obviously, it's an undersized lot, 7,500 square feet, where 10,000 feet is required. The addition is diminutive as to the additional floor area ratio of 100 square feet. Effectively, if it was a normal sized lot, or floor area ratio would be 25.5%, where 25% is the required, so it would be slightly over it, but really nominally. And as I mentioned before, the dormer addition is at the back of the house on a corner lot and not readily visible from either of the two main streets that go by it. I think I have to address the C variance, although I'm always confused with what is a C variance versus a D variance, but I was looking at the planner's report.
Yeah, I believe the only variance you have is the D4 for
Is it a D4?
floor area
Okay.
ratio, yes.
I don't have to talk about the benefits and detriments or anything else.
It's
I'm happy
still
to-
part- It's still part of the proofs, if you could just talk
Okay,
about it.
yeah. You know, we're seeking the physical features test, obviously with an undersized lot, that imposes a burden on keeping those percentages conforming. And the negative criterion for the floor area is it only slightly exceeds the normal FAR in the R10 zone. The attic addition has minimal visibility, as I've mentioned. I think it maintains the scale and the character of not only the neighborhood, but some of the larger houses along Oakland, but also the character of the Stabler's house. And I will just quote one of the staff members' comments on everything that I looked at yesterday. I thought was very appropriate. I'd like to just end with that. It's a modest addition that will increase the functionality of the property.
Do you believe this will increase the intensity of use of the property? Do you
I-
believe the
no,
property
I
can
think-
handle that intensity?
Yeah, it's going to handle the intensity. It's not going to increase it.
All right. Board experts, do you have any questions for this witness?
So there's, since the increase in impervious coverage is not exceeding 300 square feet, they're not required to do any stormwater mitigation. So beyond that, I have no other questions for the.
Thank you, Marie. Ed?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and in addition to the question you received from the board with regard to the intensification, the proposed addition is primarily along the back corner of the building, is that correct?
Correct.
And so, as you had mentioned, it's not as readily apparent to the public way, but is it apparent to the neighboring properties in this relationship, or are there mitigating features as a result?
I think it's only really visible from the adjacent house on that side of the property.
And your setback on that side?
Is 11.9, I believe. It's a little under 12.
And then also towards the other adjacent property, it's about 28.75 feet?
Yeah, and it's pretty screened. There's a culvert and a stream that runs adjacent, I believe, to that detached garage, and some pretty high existing trees that are there. So there's already a pretty natural buffer that exists at that edge.
And then also the materials that are going to be used in the addition?
Yeah, as I mentioned, they're going to be consistent with the shingles that are currently on the house. It'll all be painted white, so that it will blend in, not stand out. Same roofing material.
What is the roof pitch that you're having off the back? Is that
The minimum required for asphalt shingles, which is on the existing roof, is 312.
Okay.
Wanted to keep it as flat as possible, and I wanted to spring that from the existing ridge line of the attic, as well as provide them with a 7'4" ceiling, so that actually worked out pretty nicely.
And that all falls behind the existing ridge line.
Other than just that little bit of shed that appears, as you see in that one drawing, second to the left, just a tiny little portion of that shed for the bathroom primarily. The dormer going off the attic has no visibility from Oakland at all.
Thank you.
Great. Board members, what other questions do we have for this witness?
So the, excuse me, the existing side yards, was that a result of the variance from 1999,
99?
or was that built, the house was built with those?
No,
side
they added on to their existing kitchen for
So
a
it went out.
little breakfast area and also a little more space for a master bedroom suite above, and then also added a terrace as part of the walkway coming in from the
And that's
driveway.
that terrace or the, I'm sorry, I gotta sort that.
Yeah, I do too, so.
You want one?
I've got one
The
too.
patio is covered in the lot coverage.
It is in the lot coverage, correct.
Good, thank you.
Anyone else?
Actually, it's a related question. I noticed, Ed, in your report, you suggest, or you say the applicant shall provide a copy of the 1999 resolution, which I think might have addressed some of Mr. Nelson's issues. Should we be
Correct.
concerned about that, or?
I did hear testimony from Direct with regard to the prior resolution of approval, so it seemed to be addressing that issue already, where it was. I just wanted the board to be informed of that information.
Yeah, and we actually, before we started this project, we requested to get a copy of what was submitted for that, and they had nothing available other than a handwritten note of the zoning chart. I unfortunately wasn't involved in that project.
That was back in 1991, you said?
In 1999.
99.
That bedroom that's up there now, that's been used as a bedroom for how long?
When my third kid was born, probably back in 1998, 1999.
Do you know what size the window is in that bedroom?
The windows, they're small windows that face,
Can you talk into the microphone, please? Thanks.
yeah, there are small windows up in the attic. There are just two windows, and there's an air conditioner unit that faces Oakland Street.
Because I mean, Mr. Nelson would probably know, but usually a bedroom requires an egress-sized window if it's being used as a bedroom.
I can address that if you'd like.
Please.
Yeah. Where code requires an egress window in a renovation project, if you're changing any of the windows, if they're already there and they're non-conforming, it's not required by code to change them. We chatted briefly about that, and there didn't seem to be a desire to get into doing any work in that existing bedroom. Typically, if we do double hungs, they have to be really large, would be really awkward scale-wise on the house. For us to do casements, possibility we could change those windows, but again, I don't have enough height to conform, so again, they would change the proportions of what's existing there. And again, I'll repeat that they're not required by code if we're not changing any of the windows in that room.
I kind of thought they were required by code.
To my knowledge, over 30 years of practice, if you're renovating the room and changing windows, you have to bring it up to code. If you're not doing any work in a room, you don't have to come in and replace windows.
Well, I've done plenty of projects where bedrooms had to have at least a typical 304/6 size window at a minimum. If it's being used as a bedroom.
We also have that window.
But that's building code,
again, that's
where,
not
you know,
required.
it's,
Yeah, no,
doesn't
I'm
really.
just saying,
It's existing.
if it, I'm just asking how long it's been, if it qualified as a bedroom, how did it qualify with small windows like that?
When we purchased the house in 1996, that bedroom was already up there. It was attic space, but it was set up like a bedroom. And I just want to clarify, there's another window at the top of the stairs that's part of the attic.
But when the bedroom was added, was it done as a renovation?
No, it was already there. It had wood floors. They were in bad shape, but and there was.
I just
so-
think it's something that you should consider.
Okay.
For safety.
It is a safety issue.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But it's not required by code for the renovation we're doing.
That's good.
Any other questions? No. Any questions from the public? Seeing none. All right. Is there anything you want to say in summation?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for your time and consideration, and look forward to hopefully an approval of this project. So, thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Ball, can you go over conditions and number of votes?
So I do not have any particular conditions noted. There is no engineering report on this one that we would usually require compliance with. There is a D variance. The only variance involved is a D variance, so 5 votes are required to approve the application.
Okay, great. Any public comments? Seeing none, let's go into executive session. Who'd like to begin?
Can I?
Yes, please.
First of all, I want to say I think it's very admirable of you to, that you've been in town for so long and you want to add on to the house to you growing instead of, so that your family can come and stay here instead of, looking someplace else and moving away. So, I think that's nice. It says a lot about Summit. We want to keep our residents here. So whatever we could do to help that and help your family so that if they come visit, and that's what you want. That's what houses are for. Also, I'm actually surprised, not surprised, but I don't know when they made the zoning map, that your street, I walk by it all the time, that you are R10. It's like, so that little strip should probably be R6, but that's just a side note. And, finishing the extra storage in your attic, because we have a finished attic, and I have the same thing, there is no storage. That is your storage, so you need the extra storage space. So I fully support this. I think your ask is, like I said, a great reason why you need this. Like I said, normally I'd be like, why do you need that storage? But knowing, when you have a finished attic and there's no extra place, I think and then having a bathroom for your guests is something nice to have, well, pretty much a need also with the big family. So I fully support this. I think it's great. I think you should make it so that you can have a welcoming family.
Thank you, Alice. Tom?
Yeah, I agree. I think the undersized lot, as we've noted, exacerbates the FAR, the need for the FAR. The work is in the rear of the house. The corner lot makes it visible from 2 streets, so the visibility is minimal. The forester noted no need for additional screening, so I don't think it's going to impact the neighbors. I think it can be granted without any substantial detriment to the public good and without substantially impairing the intent and purpose of the master plan and our ordinance. It's in keeping with the neighborhood, so therefore, it's not going to stand out and have a negative impact from that point of view. And I think that's it. It's a relatively modest increase in FAR, so I can support it.
I can support this application. I don't like third floor bedrooms. But I'm surprised it wasn't caught, but that's not our purview here. But I can support the project the way it is. Again, it's a modest addition, doesn't affect the neighborhood. And you have a smaller than required lot. So I agree with my board members. I can support this application.
I too completely agree with my colleagues that I don't need to reiterate. They said it better than I ever could, so I certainly can support this application. And with that, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Ms. Sands?
Mr. Yuko?
Yes.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Curran?
Yes.
Ms. Chifo?
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli?
Yes.
Chairman Liggett?
Yes.
Bless you.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Colt Road.
I've gotten lazy. Not lazy anymore.
It's like the Oscars all over again.
Thank you, Mr. Barkhouse.
Got you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. James Weber of Alfonso and Weber on behalf of the applicants, Bobby and Emily Kennedy, with regard to a property located at 46 Colt Road. The application is best summarized by the review of the perspective that's shown up on the screen at this point. This has not been part of the package. We did have the front elevation as part of the package, but this is a colorized version.
So we'll just mark the entire electronic submission as A1.
Thank you. The proposal is to retain the Georgian style, and the Georgian style of the home will be retained. The proposal is to add a second-story addition over on the left wing. There's a single story back there now, and they're going to add a 388-square-foot addition to that portion that will increase the lot coverage by 8 square feet, will increase the building coverage by 8 square feet, and I believe will increase the FAR by that 388 square foot number. The Kennedys have found that they love this charming home, but with any home that is approximately 85 years old, built according to HPC in and around 1938, it comes with its inconsistencies, inefficiencies. I think that when you look at the second floor, the 2 bedrooms are in the railroad style. So in other words, there's no hallway that separates the rooms. You have to go through one room to get to the other room and vice versa. Likewise, there was a stairwell, a second stairwell that served the upstairs and provided the staff that access. It's a narrow stairway. It's not functional, and that's going to be removed. Likewise, there will be a renovation and reinvigoration of the first floor family room and kitchen, and as a result, we'll be taking this home, long-standing, significant contributor to the Colt Road, and modernizing it. Unless the board has any questions of me, I'll call the Kennedys to the stand to give testimony in this matter.
Great.
I'm going to try, I don't know whether I should move the computer at this point, or just stay with it, all right?
Let's not tempt fate, Mr. Weber.
Yeah, where is Sam? Okay, we have to go to the other plans. This is Mr. Barkhouse, Andrew Barkhouse, and he is the design architect on this project. Thank you. In terms of the witnesses, I should interrupt for a second. We also have Andrew Clark here. Even though the addition in building coverage and lot coverage is only 8 square feet, he's here to provide any responses that may be necessary that arise from a civil engineering standpoint.
Thank you, Mr. Weber.
All right, I'll swear both of you in. If you could each raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And one at a time, please state your name, spell your last name.
Emily Kennedy, Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy, Kennedy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, folks, you own the property at 46 Colt Road,
Yes,
and you brought an application before this board with regard to that property.
yes.
And what's the purpose of that application?
So yes, we've lived in Summit for about 8 years. We were renting for a few years. We bought our first home 5 years ago, 46 Colt Road. We have 3 kids there, attending the public schools in town, walking down to Franklin. And we have 4 bedrooms on the second floor. As you heard, one of the bedrooms in the back and one of the bathrooms is only accessible from the second floor by walking through one of the other bedrooms. our children are getting older, they're needing privacy. We need to be able to accommodate them for that. So that's the main reason for the work that we're going to do. And then again, yes, as on the first floor, that will allow us to get rid of the old staircase that's very narrow, which is pretty much right in the middle of the kitchen, which will also help us to, expand the kitchen and modernize the kitchen, and allow for some more storage on the first floor, which in an 85-year-old home is definitely necessary. But yeah, we love the home, we love the neighborhood, want to be able to stay there and continue to have our kids grow into the space, and don't want the facade we love. We just want to make some updates to actually bring it up to what we think the rest of the homes in our street, the curb appeal that they have, we'd like to sort of match and be more in keeping with the neighborhood. And most of the added square feet is actually in the back corner of the home. So really from the front, as you saw, it's a very small change in terms of the added square footage. Anything to add?
I would just emphasize that preserving the historic home is really important to us. It's one of the main reasons why we brought in period architecture. Joe and his firm really specialize in bringing historic homes up to more modern standards, preserving the character, making sure that they stay within sort of the context of when the home was designed, the neighborhood. And we sought out experts in this field. We weren't interested in tearing the home down and building something new. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but what we loved about this home when we bought it now almost 6 years ago was really the historic nature, the charm of the home. And we believe that these plans are very much in keeping with all of that. I would just also add that bedroom that has to be walked through to access the back bedroom and the back bathroom is my daughter's room. She's now 12 years old, and so she doesn't
Say
like
no
anymore opening that door. And when we do have guests, they do share that bathroom and that back room. And so there's not real safety concerns, but there's certainly privacy concerns, and we'd like to manage that and rectify it if possible.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Board experts, I assume you're going to wait for their expert witnesses? Perfect.
Yeah, just one question I had
Yes.
with regard to part of Mr. Weber's getting ready to address is the issue of the prior approval and how it's evolved. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Can I
I
ask
just
somebody-
want to see if the board has any questions for this witness.
I had that same question, so.
Oh, all right. Anyone? No? All right, good. Any questions from the public? Seeing none? All right. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Weber.
Did you speak to your neighbors?
We did.
Yes.
Okay. And what response, without repeating what they said, did they have with regard to your application?
They're all supportive.
And are you going to end up, in terms of putting in landscaping in the future? You had a chance to talk with your neighbors, they would like to speak with you with regard to that, and you'll confer with your neighbors as to landscaping in the future?
Yes.
And you've had a chance to review the staff report comments, and do you agree to be bound by them, subject to the testimony of your experts?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Great.
I do have one
Allison,
question.
please.
I figured I might as well ask the homeowners. One of the comments from Historic Preservation Commission, and I actually was thinking the same thing, you're removing the portico, so there's not going to be any covering over your front door when you walk out?
We're actually replacing the portico with more of a vestibule that is actually closer in line with the historic Georgian architecture of the home. The portico, our understanding, is actually not original to the home, so there will be coverage.
So that the door that you see doesn't go right into the house? There is a, okay.
Correct. That's actually the 8 square feet of additional lot coverage is actually 8 feet beyond what the portico is currently covering.
Okay, because it looked like flat from the pictures. Okay, thank you.
Great. Thanks, Alice. All right, Mr. Weber, next witness.
If I can, let's take this opportunity just to talk about the 2006 approval.
Sure.
So that there's the opportunity to address that. And we have available that the board can take judicial notice of the plan. And I would suggest it be marked A2.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And what this shows from 2006. This was the engineering plan, and the addition would be shown in gray from 2006, and that would be the sunroom that's on the right-hand side, the two-story addition that they did in 2006. Okay. So, can I distribute this?
Please. We'll pass it around.
Pass that down, please. Go back. So what I brought up in A1, when you look at the proposal and looking on the right-hand side, that would have been the 2006 addition, where they added a second story over the sunroom that was on the right-hand side. It also brings up, I'll hold my question until the plan comes around.
Mr. Weber, in your electronic packet, do you have any photos of the existing facade as it
Yes.
condition as exists today?
If I could ask Mr. Barkhouse to rejoin us. And why don't we swear him in if I can, Mr. Chairman?
Absolutely.
You raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in these matters, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And please state your name, spell your last name.
Andrew Barkhouse, Barkhouse.
Thank you. Can you briefly describe your background and experience for the board?
Yep, I'm a registered architect in the state of New York. I've been licensed for 7 years. I currently practice with Period Architecture that's based in Pennsylvania. Joseph Mackin has joined me today as well. He will be the standing architect on this application.
Okay.
Great.
You can see that electronically I'm attempting to bring up the elevation.
I got you.
And they're looking for, the chairman's looking for the existing elevation.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And would you be able to, Emily or Bobby, describe what's shown here as part of the package that's been submitted to the board already?
Explain the existing?
Yep, explain the existing.
Yeah, so this is the existing home. It's a red brick home, full surround, with an circular portico, with a balcony on top, but that it is not accessible from that second floor window, so it's sort of like a faux Juliet balcony, if you will. And yeah, so on the right was it used to be a sun porch, which they converted into, the previous homeowner converted into that two-story. And then off to the left is where we're just looking to make the addition on top of that existing first floor structure. And it's set back farther from the front of the house.
It's harder to see from this perspective, but if you were to stand to the left of the street and look up at the house or in the driveway, you'll see quite a mishmash, if you will, of different roof lines. And so one of the other benefits, I think, to the neighborhood is that really from any perspective of the home, those roof lines will be cleaned up, they'll be elevated, it'll look much less disjointed than it currently is. Well, there you go. Thank you, Andrew. And this is as the result of, many families enjoying this home and making improvements to it in the last 88 years. And we are just trying to rethink that as, one singular project, but without, really exceeding the envelope much further than we are today. This is really not about getting more bulk. This is about improving the functionality on the second floor.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Board questions?
Yeah, question, maybe I missed this, maybe I was looking at something else. How did we get from the 2006 approved numbers for FAR, building coverage, and max lot to what is the current? Or did you address that? I apologize if I missed it.
No, I did not.
Okay.
That is a little bit of a conundrum. At the time that the approval came through, there was a credit for the greenhouse that was attached at the back of the property where it was 7 feet or less. And as a result, that was not counted in floor area ratio. It is now counted in floor area ratio, and as a result, the numbers did go up. We're talking about a difference of around 119 square feet. That back portion of the 2006 greenhouse, they gave a credit of 32.6 square feet. And I can submit this architectural plan at this point, would be A3.
Yes, it would.
So in essence, you're saying it's the change in how the city measures things or counts things, that there was no extra work done?
No.
It's a change how, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you guys want to see that?
There is still something from 2006 where the condition of approval was the removal of 2 feet of length of the driveway in front of the garage. The Heckelmans did not remove that 2-foot strip, and so that has remained. So we're asking for a variance to allow it to remain. It provides, what's the benefit of having that additional 2 feet?
It improves the maneuverability of our driveway significantly, I would say. We have a 2-car garage, one that's sort of tucked behind the house, half of the garage, which, as with 3 kids, we use mostly for storage, so we get 1 car in one half of the garage, and the other car is always parked in the driveway. And so that we use those couple extra feet to help us get the car that's in the garage out of the driveway without having to move the other car. So it really helps functionally quite a bit, and also getting the bikes in and out with a car in the driveway as well.
I've asked Mr. Barkhouse if he could bring up the civil engineering plan by Andrew Clark so that we can see exactly what this 2 feet is addressing.
Well, if you're going to do that, then let's hear from Mr. Clark.
Okay.
So that was required, the removal of the 2 feet was required for a previous variance? Is that
It
what I
was.
understand? It was never caught, never?
It was not. I mean, also the front portico was going to be removed, which also was another factor in the reduction of the FAR, because at that point, Mr. Yuko, you may recall, the definition for floor area residential calculation included if you had a deck or a porch that was framed on several planes, not counting the plane of the principal building, then it counted in floor area ratio. So that was later cleaned up, and we believe it would have been cleaned up afterwards, which allowed that portico to stay, and the adjustment went on. Because when they started talking about the planes, they said, well, the floor of your porch is a plane, the roof is a plane, and as a result, you're counted in FAR. And obviously, it didn't make any sense, and so it became a problem for the enforcement.
And again,
So-
all these discrepancies you're talking about predate by years the current applicant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When they, what you see is what they bought.
Yeah.
So we have the survey from when they purchased it in 2020. That may have even been included as part of the application memo to the board members. So,
One question for the applicant. In terms of the driveway utilization, when you're using it for maneuvering, are you more using it towards the back of the driveway or the front of the driveway?
The back of the driveway. That 2 feet is always right by the back. It doesn't even come all the way down to the front of the house. It starts like maybe midway through the house.
Yeah, if you take a look at the screen here.
Oh, yeah, you can see
You
where
can see how the
it comes
driveway
out.
actually bends out toward the property line.
Yeah.
And it's that extra strip that was supposed to have been removed. That is where we use that extra space where it exists to be able to maneuver a car around, another car. Or even for the kids to be able to get bikes in and out of the driveway, in and out of the garage easily. It would be very difficult, if not impossible without that extra 2 feet.
Can you park a car there and still maneuver in and out of the garage?
Barely.
Okay.
How wide is the driveway? Maybe it's more a question for Mr. Clark.
yes, if I can, at this point, should I bring Mr. Clark up?
Sure.
Have a seat here.
All right. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And can you please state your name, spell your last name?
Andrew Clark, C-L-A-R-K-E.
Thank you, and you have appeared before us a number of times, including very recently. Any changes to your credentials since the last time you were here?
Not in the last month.
I imagine we'll accept you back once again.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just indicate on the screen up here since I don't have a board, but I think the area we're talking about is right in here. And so, like at this wider point, it's about not quite 18 feet. I mean, it's 20.8 to the building, so it's a little bit less than that. It's about 18. I think it comes down in this area to about 13. So the 2 foot would come in there. It would probably reduce about 54 square feet of lot coverage, but on the flip side of it, it doesn't really get you much. Yes, it gets into compliance with the 2 foot setback that's required for the driveway, but as a practical matter, the 2 foot in there doesn't really give you much in terms of like a landscaping opportunity. It's not quite enough room to really get any meaningful landscaping other than ground cover. And in dialogue with their neighbor, they don't seem to have any concerns, and there's a lot of passage along there with the neighbors across the property. So I don't think leaving it really causes any detriment, and there's a bit of a benefit in terms of what the Kennedys were just discussing in terms of its functionality that it brings to that part of the driveway.
In terms of the entirety of the driveway, maybe, is there a way to remove, let's say, 8 square feet of lot coverage and not impair the use and functionality of the driveway?
I mean, I suppose with some considerable work effort, you could probably reduce you rebuild part of the driveway, take out the curb and move it in a foot or 6 inches or a foot. You could potentially get to that 8 square feet. I'm not sure it gains a lot of benefit in terms of the functionality or the 8 square feet in terms of the coverage either. Because the driveway, it's about 12 feet wide for the bulk of it, which is pretty common. But, could you make it 11 feet? You probably could, and you'd make up that 8 square feet. The 8 square feet, I think, was pointed out before, is the difference between the existing circular portico and the rectangular portico that's being proposed.
One of the other points, if I can.
Sure.
The prior approval had granted a variance for 39.3%. What they built was 39%, and what is being proposed is 39.1%.
In terms of lot coverage, right.
In terms
so
of lot coverage. So
existing
it's-
and proposed conditions are within what the previous variance for lot coverage that was granted. That's right.
Lots to unpack there.
So they're actually asking for a little bit less than was previously approved.
Yes.
Saying,
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
in terms of lot coverage.
In terms of lot coverage.
Correct.
And Mr. Clark, there's no other site additions, no other AC pad or generator pad or additional impervious landscaping in the back?
That's correct. That's all correct. In terms of the actual work, it's focused primarily, almost entirely in this area of the building on the existing footprint. So that's really another reason why I didn't want to necessarily open the can of worms of site work on this job, because it's not really warranted for any other reason. So yeah, that's correct. There's no other site work that's proposed.
Great. Thank you. Board experts, what questions do you have for this witness?
So I don't know if this is a question for you or for the architect. Do you know where the roof leaders are going to go from the addition?
Well, they're gonna go in the same place they are now, which there's, I think, 2 locations. I drove by again recently. I saw your comment, and there's one discharge point at the curb coming sort of more from the right side, and then there's another one that's sort of opposite where this this left side of it is, and that appears to be where all the roof leaders come out from the dwelling. I didn't trace them out, but they go into the ground, and then there's those 2 discharge points. I didn't observe any sort of problematic condition, and I think Mr. Schrager had not indicated any sort of problem that had been observed in his review, so I'm not aware of any issues. Obviously, if they did come up, they'd be addressed, but yeah, they discharge at the curb and would continue to do so.
Okay.
And Ms. Refe, just to re-educate us, due to the nature of this type of work, there is no stormwater
That is correct.
requirement.
Right,
Okay.
right. It's only 8 square feet of additional impervious coverage, so they're not required to install any stormwater mitigation on this.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Ed, do you have questions for Mr. Clark?
Probably not for Mr. Clark, but just in general, it seems like the prior approval replaced a sunroom that was on the right-hand side, or I guess that's the westerly side of the existing building, correct?
That's correct,
And so
yeah,
the
and I did
sunroom-
confirm that with
Okay.
the architect.
We were looking right at the sunroom depicted on your survey in the back.
Right, I understood the
And that
confusion when I saw the
seemed to
comment
be-
immediately, and when I saw the resolution, I reached out for Rosen's office, who did the original plans for that 2006 variance, and they sent along, I think one of the exhibits was introduced, and confirmed that it was the sunroom, that was a sunroom on the right side that was converted to the 2-story addition on the right side.
Okay, and then further, I guess, I don't know if they were gonna have the architect provide any comments, but yet, it looks like the roof lines are proposed to match the existing of it's even more matching. of
More
the existing.
consistent, it looks like, on the left side, yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
certainly that would be something they would touch on.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Board, what questions do you have for Mr. Clark?
I have a question. So those are 3 AC units?
Yes.
No generators. Are they screened?
I mean, there's some,
I mean, I'm just, I
there's
don't,
some landscaping, it's kind of hard to see, but I think it's like a river birch. There's the 4 little circles that are right there that aren't very clearly labeled, but there's a little bit of landscaping that's immediately adjacent to it, and some ordinary, like, foundation planting
But
type
from
of
the- I
type of
mean-
landscaping.
I don't recall when I was there, but I mean, just from the picture online, I could see the AC unit right from the, the photograph. So it looks like the front, is there any screening right in front? So if you're standing on the street, can you see that air conditioning unit?
That I don't recall offhand, but they are planning to do some landscaping as part of the project, so I'm sure adding a little bit of screening in that wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I can address it too. We have English laurels, I'm pretty sure they are, around that part of the driveway. We did lose a couple of them, so now I believe it's not as full, so you can see a little bit. But we want that covered. That's part of our landscaping plan when we finish the work.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions?
Just real quick. So the area where the driveway hits the property line, no drainage issues or anything with the neighbor?
No, actually, in this case, the stormwater, thank you, the stormwater pitches towards the street from the garage all the way down, and since there is a curb line there, any rain that does fall in the driveway carries down that driveway all the way and doesn't flow onto the neighbor.
So if the neighbor were to ever sell their house and the new neighbor said, I don't want that there, if we memorialize this variance, is there anything the new person can do?
Well, it's not encroaching.
It's not encroaching.
Right.
It's not, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's, if we grant the condition to absolve them of that prior condition to remove that portion of the driveway, then it's done.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions from the public for Mr. Clark? Seeing none. All right. What else you got for us, Mr. Weber?
We have the architects available. Should the board have any questions of the architects?
Would the board like to hear from the architect?
I just have a question.
Okay.
I would ask that the two architects be called to the stand to be sworn in to give testimony in this matter.
You sworn in, right?
It's your turn to get sworn in.
So Mr. Barkhouse was previously sworn. We'll swear you in as well. If you could raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give in this matter, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And please state your name, spell your last name.
Joseph Mackin, Mackin.
And can you briefly describe your background and experience for the board?
Registered architect for over 20 years and licensed in the state of New Jersey.
All right. Any questions, or would you like to accept his credentials?
We would.
Okay. Go ahead.
We just have questions. We don't-
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So we heard the owner's testimony on why they're looking to do this renovation. It makes a lot of sense with the extra staircase and the railroad bedrooms. What is the purpose of the two dormers in the attic level? And just back to what the homeowner said, that they wanted to keep the Georgian style of the house.
Mhm.
That doesn't seem like it really fits in those two, they seem like two small dormers facing the front, so it does change the look. What is
Sure.
the purpose of that?
Yeah, so.
In response, why don't you bring up the
Yeah.
perspective
Here.
so that the board
So we
has
can all
the
look at it.
benefit of seeing that.
So the real goal here was that as we took away that faux Juliet balcony, we started to look at the proportions of what that front elevation looked like, and we just saw nothing but roof line. And so as we bring up those that roof line on the left side, we started to see just a mass of shingles, right? And so the way that we would classically disrupt that shingle pattern is through a dormer. That attic is just for storage, so it's not really trying to bring in extra light or air to that area, but just to add curb appeal to the actual massing of the house.
Are there other examples of houses on the street with similar dormer configuration?
Yeah, so one of the things that we looked at immediately was we walked up and down the street and looked at other homes that are in keeping with either the brick Georgian or other brick traditional homes, and we basically took different elements from each of those that does feel in keeping. That circle window that you see just above the closed porch area is matching one that is directly to the right of them. The two dormers match a house that is a couple down from it. So it really was trying to make sure that this feels in keeping with the neighborhood and improve it so that it feels even more elevated than it currently feels today.
Thank you.
Thank you. What other questions do we have for this witness?
What's the height in that area? Sorry, what's the height in that storage area?
I believe it's like 6'6" at the absolute ridge line. And it goes down to 0.
Sorry, I went in reverse order. Ed, your questions for this witness?
That was pretty much the question I was going to be asking, and also the roof lines themselves, they're all going to be matching the pitches?
Yes.
The roof lines that are
Yep.
there?
It actually simplifies it quite a bit from what it is today.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Seeing none. Any questions from the public for these witnesses? Seeing none.
And I'll just note, Mr. Mackin, as you're the licensed architect in New Jersey, I assume you agree with all your colleagues' testimony.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, Andy. All right. Do we have any comments from the public? Seeing none. Mr. Weber, would you like to wrap it up? Put a
Nothing
nice little
further,
bow on it.
Mr. Chairman. We submit the application to the approval of the board.
Excellent. I love it. So we're going to enter into executive session. Who would like to begin?
But were there conditions? I
Oh,
forget.
right, sorry.
Yeah, please.
Jumping the gun.
That's what I'm here for.
So I just have our one usual condition noted, compliance note with the conditions noted in the board engineer's memorandum, though I know there were a few points raised about potentially removing certain coverage or some concern about the driveway. Does the board see any need for additional conditions on that point?
I just have a question. If we're going to approve the plan, do we have to grant a variance for the driveway as well?
Yes, that's included, so it would be both removing the prior condition that they remove that portion of the driveway from the prior resolution, which we have that authority to do, as well as granting them a variance for the 2-foot setback, the driveway located within that setback.
Okay.
And just this nitpicky question, I know the applicant said they want to put in the screening. Should we add that they said they, as a condition, or?
We could, if you would like to see that as a condition. I'm sure they will have no objection to including it.
Well, it's required, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the screen.
It is required.
It is required, so if it's, currently lacking, we'll note that as a condition as well. They will screen the existing air conditioning unit
Okay.
in compliance with the code.
Now, who wants to begin?
And just noting, 5 votes are required to approve because there is a FAR variance.
Thank you, Andy, for that.
Sure.
Tom.
Okay.
I see
Just-
you
I have a lot of-
chomping at the bit.
I have a lot of unorganized notes here. I'm trying to put them mentally in the right order. I think, well, I'll start off by saying I can support this application. I think it's a reasonable application. I don't think there's anything that has any substantial, certainly no substantial negative detriments on the neighborhood, the neighbors or the neighborhood. I don't see anything that is contradictory of the interests and purpose of the municipal land use law. I think it'll improve the look of the house, which, has a benefit does have a benefit for everybody as well as the property owner. So I can support it.
I would agree with my colleague here. The contemplated project improves the use and functionality of the home. It actually really does improve the use and functionality of the home, so not just saying that. Also, the additional FAR does not add any intensification of the use of the property, so I see no negative impacts. If anything, there's a positive impact to the neighborhood. I was at the house yesterday, and the point about the massing of shingles was not lost upon me, and I think the visual interest generated by the dormers is a nice touch.
I will say there's one unique thing I don't think I've ever heard before, having to go through one bedroom to get to another. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
There's a lot of houses in
Are
town
there?
like that,
Okay.
yeah, because it's the back staircase.
I guess it's never come up.
Half the pre-war buildings in New York City, Tom.
Okay, well, hey, what do I know?
It's great for hide and seek, playing tag in the house.
Okay.
I too can support the plan. I think it's a smart architectural drawing plan. Definitely improves the functionality of the home, and I see no detriment to the public here.
I agree with all my compatriots. If you drive up and down Colt Road, I think you can see that there's a great temptation to tear down some beautiful homes and replace them with something much larger and much less beautiful. And I applaud you both for resisting that temptation and taking what is already a beautiful house and making it better, right? And the fact that the substantial amount of work is being done to the back of the house and everything in the front is merely cosmetic, I think it's definitely in keeping with the DRO, that you're improving the usability and probably the safety and functionality of the house is something that this board is always appreciative of. And I think it's a very responsible, very thoughtful, very beautiful project. So I could absolutely support it. All right. So with that, can I get a motion to approve, please?
So
I'll second.
Excellent. Jessica, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Yuko?
Yes.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Curran?
Yes.
Ms. Chifo?
Yes.
Mr. Chanchuli?
Yes.
Chairman Liggett?
Yes. Good luck with your project. Thank you. All right.
That's a record.
It's a miracle.
Thank you.
All right, so we have some resolutions and some meeting minutes. Ooh, 3 sets of meeting minutes.
Okay, so we have 2 resolutions for memorialization. Up first is 71 Hillcrest Avenue, zoning board application number ZB-25-2315. The eligible voting members are Mr. Mullen, Mr. Nelson, Ms. Chifo, and Chairman Liggett. Could we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Ms. Chifo?
Yes.
Chairman Licketts?
Yes.
Up next, we have 32 Lennox Road, zoning board application number ZB-25-2311. The eligible voting members are Mr. Mullen, Mr. Nelson, Ms. Chifo, and Chairman Licketts. Could we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mullen?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes.
Ms. Chifo?
Yes.
Chairman Licketts?
Yes.
Thank you. Up next, we have 3 sets of minutes for memorialization. Up first is January 8th, 2026. The eligible voting members are Chairman Licketts, Mr. Mullen, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Yuko, and Mr. Chanchuli. Could we get a motion to approve?
Moved.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we have January 21st, 2026. The eligible voting members are Chairman Licketts, Mr. Nelson, Ms. Chifo, Mr. Chanchuli, and Mr. Mullen. Could we get a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then lastly, we have the minutes from February 2nd, 2026. The eligible voting members are Mr. Yuko, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Curran, Ms. Chifo, Mr. Chanchuli, and Chairman Licketts. Could we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I really appreciate it. And with that, can I get a motion?
Do you guys, you need this? This was.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Can't throw out exhibits.
Good save.
But we never do.
But Jessica would hunt you down and find you where you sleep. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate it.